Hello again, and I'm Ola Agbamoni, the business detective.
And I'm Carol Pyke, the business bard.
And we're from a company called Elan Media, and we are passionate about hugs, telling stories, transforming business, and celebrating success, because we're a marketing company and we help you tell your story. Today, we're going to be talking about the message, what you actually want to say and how to get it across. So I'm going to go over to Carol, the business bard, because she's all about stories, answer some questions. Okay. So Carol, let's start with this idea of a message. Is this something that you're chatting about that you want everyone to hear? What should your message be in business?
Actually, shouting about it is great, but in the right places. I think, but we're probably going to come back to that later on. But I think the start is about kind of understanding what it is that you're actually talking about. And I think that one of the challenges is that being excited about business is that we want to shout about how great it is that we are, how many years that is that we've been in business, that how many qualifications we've got, 3 degrees, etc., which is great stuff. But actually, that's not what it is that your customers want to hear. They are only interested in their problem or their concern. You can think about it like they've got a wart on their bum.
I like that one.
And that's what it is that they're concerned about. So it doesn't matter how many years that you've been in business. If they can't hear that you've got the solution to the wart on their bum, then actually they're not listening to anything beyond that. So your first port of call is really about engaging with them. In fact, it's all about engagement, because if you can get their attention, then you can talk about your experience and your expertise and why it is that you're the best for them. But they want to know that you're listening to them. So
the first thing really that you're saying is your message is really a listening message. So you have to hear what your audience are saying so that you can say back to them in their own words what their problems are, so they can start listening to you.
Yes. I think a kind of great example is Apple. Because how many of us actually woke up in the morning and said, I've always wanted an iPad, I've always wanted one of those things. Actually, none of us have said that. But they've been listening and kind of recognising that we want more portable technology. We want something that's kind of lighter and easier to carry, that enables us to access all of the things it is that we're involved with on a day-to-day basis. And they came up with that as a solution and then told us about.
What is it that your customers need to hear first in order for them to start listening to you? Because in today's market it's very crowded. That's why we say you need to stand out in the crowd. Everybody's talking. Our attention's being drawn all the time by everybody. So what is it that attracts your attention so you start listening?
Yes.
So that people will then want to hear everything else you've got to say? What's our takeaway today, Carol? What can businesses do to really get going on this?
I think there's probably kind of a couple of things. One is that you need to be listening. I think it's that whole thing where there is lots of noise and we are so busy speaking that oftentimes we forget to actually listen and hear what's actually being said. And then it's about looking at what have you got to say? What is it that your business has to say to communicate and connect with your audience? Because it is about connecting, it is about engagement, it is about kind of emotions. So what are the messages that you've got to say? But you need to be looking at it from their perspective, which kind of seems like a bit bizarre, that actually you're saying the message, but actually you're standing in their shoes. What do they want to hear? And so what do you need to say so that they can hear what it is that they need to hear?
Okay, so we're going to be writing down our messages, and it's always good to write things down, because I always say to my kids, there's no such thing as a perfect draft, it's just redrafting. So write down what you think the messages are, write down what you want to hear, and then say them out, test them out. Go, have those conversations with people that you think might want to hear your message and see how they respond. So you can, there's only feedback, no failure.
That's true. And I think that particularly now we've got the short message, the shorter message, and the long message, and it's just about looking at how it is that you can communicate in all of those media.
Me, Ola Agbamoni, the business detective.
And me, Carol Pyke, the business bard.
We'll see you again soon.